Hi, this is Dreama, and today we are doing a client reading. And as always, I know the name of the client and they know their name, but I won't be saying it in this video. Now, today's reading actually is a question reading. And the question the client has is they want to know, when or if they will conceive a child soon. Okay. Now, I've actually tailored this spread just so that we could be able to answer those specific questions. Now we're going to be using the Tarot of Dreams, and I've already actually shuffled the cards, cut them, and laid them out, and that's just to save some time. That way I have enough time to explain the cards in detail to the client. Now, the top three cards, those will represent a yes or no answer, okay? Because the client wants to know when they will be conceiving a child. And before we address that, I thought the best thing we ought to do is just be able to answer the question of if this is going to happen. So the top three cards are going to be a simple yes and no question. When I turn the cards over, if they are facing me in what I call an upright position, the answer is yes. If they are facing the wall, then it would be a no. Now, of course, the more yeses or the more no's you have, that will help us with the answer. If this is a yes, we will move on to these two cards. These cards, the client wanted to know actually about when they would conceive, and I just want to say a little bit about when. The tarot cards won't give you an exact date. It won't give exact names, things like that. That's something that's just not possible through a tarot card. But what it can do is give us the time of year. Whether it be spring, fall, summer, whenever, it can give us that much information. The only thing is we don't know what year this will be referring to. And by that I mean it could be, for example, next spring or the spring after. There's really no way for us to know what time, what year to be exact it would be. But it would narrow it down to a season of the year, okay? I'm going to start up here with these three cards. Okay, and we have the Seven of Cups, and it is facing me, so that would be a yes. Okay, and next we have the King of Wands. It's facing me, that would also be a yes. And last we have the Emperor, which again is facing me, so that would be a yes. So I am very confident to say that I do believe that the client will conceive again, okay? Now, we're going to move on to these two cards, and let me explain. As far as the season, some of the cards are, the pictures on the cards are either cold and bitter or something like that, or bright and green, and they can tell us, what kind of season it may be when the client will conceive. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords and Wands. Okay, now I'm not sure how well you can see these cards, but these are very dark cards. They're what I call fire cards. There's some red in the background, and this is kind of the same way. They're dark, but there's fire in the background. To me, that would indicate winter, okay? Just because that is the darkest time of year, and these are two very dark cards. So I would say that more than likely that when the client would conceive would be in the winter time, somewhere around the darkest time of year, okay? The darkest time of year, unfortunately, is probably about December, during the winter solstice, okay? These are fire cards. Now, a little bit about what will be going on in the client's life when this happens. It looks like, because I'm seeing this person here and they're kind of trying to sneak and slip away. And what that tells me is that there'll be a time in your life that, things will become overwhelming for you. They're carrying all these swords on their back. It'll be a heavy burden. You'll be carrying a lot of burdens and almost at a state where you just want to escape, okay? And next we have this one, which is the Seven of Wands, and this card is about discord and arguing, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of chaos going on at the time that you conceive. Now, I really believe that once you do conceive, things will settle down. But it does look as like there's going to be a lot of problems leading up to that time. Okay? So, again, what I'm seeing is yes, you will conceive in the future. However, it's not going to be until winter, until the darkest time of the year. Okay? All right, that does conclude my reading for today. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining me. And I do hope to see you all again.